Hello, everyone. I am here on page 728. 728. 728. Okay, can you find that page? And I'll find a pen to write with, and then we'll get started. Y'all there? If you're not there, pause your video and find the page because we are ready to start. Okay. Try doing these two by yourself. Okay, try doing those. Read them and do them. They're pretty easy if you can read them. You have to pause it. I'll wait for you. Just do them quickly. Notice this one says sides, but this one says vertices. Okay, let's check it out. Here we go. How many sides does a hexagon have? Hexagon. This is a hexagon. How many sides? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Did you get 6 sides? 6-sided shape is a hexagon, straight sides. Okay? How many vertices does a quadrilateral have? What's a vertex? A vertex is where two of the sides come together. The point that they make is called a vertex. When you have more than one, you call them vertices. And this has 4 vertices. It has 4 sides and 4 vertices. Right? 4 vertices. I do a circle around the vertices where the two sides come together. That's called a vertice. Okay, try number 3 on your own. See if you know how to do it. You may have to pause it because you may have to go get something. Pause it if you didn't pause it and do it. Now that you're done, if you're done, you can start up the video again. What do you need for this one? Use a centimeter ruler. I gave you these, right? Okay. What is the length of the ribbon to the nearest centimeter? Well, if you go like this, see my numbers were backwards here? My numbers are backwards, so can you see the numbers are backwards? Then I turn it like this. And I don't want to start with the 1. I want to start where the 0 goes right there. And it says about 4. But look what it says here. Inches. We don't want inches. We want the tiny ones, centimeters. You got to go this way where it says centimeters. They're little tiny spaces, tiny units. So I put it right at the 0. See my 0? I'm putting it right at the beginning. And how big is it? All the way to the 10 centimeters. You start with the 0 and you measure how far it is. I don't have to count because they put numbers. 10 centimeters. Got it? Go do number 4 by yourself. These are all pretty easy. Make sure you read it carefully and you know how to solve it, what they're asking you. Are you all doing number 4? You've got what kind of graph is this? Picture graph. They're using little pictures. Each of the smiley faces stands for one child. It says favorite fruit. This must be how many kids picked apples, how many picked oranges, how many picked grapes, and how many picked peaches. Most of the kids picked apples. Okay, but what is the question? Look at the picture graph. How many more children chose apples than oranges? How many more picked apples than oranges? Well, look, apples, oranges. How many more? How many extra? Apples has 2 extra, 2 more. Or you could do what? 4 minus 2. Is what? 2. When you're comparing one group to another group, You subtract to find the difference. You subtract the 2 from here to get the 2 that are left over. You all got that? You should all remember whenever they ask you how much bigger is one number than another number, you have to subtract to find the difference. Okay, we're going to do some drawing here. Use a ruler. Luckily, I already still have my pattern block template thing. Use a ruler. Draw 2 different triangles. Then draw 2 different rectangles. We're going to do 2 triangles here and 2 rectangles here. Does yours have to look like mine? No. Yours does not have to look like mine. Okay. How many sides are we going to do? We're going to do triangles up here. How many sides is a triangle? 3. So let me start with one big one here. I'm going to start right at the beginning. This dot all the way down to that dot. There's one side. I'm going to make another side pretty big. I'm going to make it all the way down to here. That's 2 sides. Now I only got one side, so I can't go up here, because then I'll need a 4th side. I can't go that way. I have to go this way. I have to get back all the way back to where I started, because I already have 2. To make it just 3, I have to go back here. So I'm going to have to go directly back to where I started. It only goes to these 2 dots. It doesn't have to go through other dots. That's a triangle. It's got 1, 2, 3 sides. Can I do a little one? You can do a real little one like this. Look, I can go down. I can go this way. But then I got to go back to where I started. Isn't that a tiny triangle? I'm going to make one more triangle. I'm going to do 3 triangles. I'm going to go like this. Make a pretty triangle. Well, it doesn't have to be that big. I'll make it about this big. Let's see. Now I'm going to make it all the way to the bottom. Here we go. To the bottom. Then I'm going to go you over here. And then I'll do one on the bottom here. These are all triangles, right? Because they have 3 sides. This is a right triangle because it has that corner. This is a right triangle because it has a corner on this side. This is not a right triangle. This is almost an equilateral. Equilateral means all 3 sides are the same. But I think these are not quite the same. Maybe they are. This might be an equilateral triangle where all the sides are the same. What are we supposed to do down here? 2 rectangles. Well, I can do a small one like this. Can I do this? Does this count as a rectangle? Look. Rectangles have how many sides? 4. Maybe I can go like this. Here's a real small one. Now, some of you are saying, that's not a rectangle, that's a square. But guess what? A square is a rectangle. Did you know that? A square is just a rectangle with all the sides the same. It's a special rectangle. So that's good. Of course, I could have made a bigger one like this, maybe. Now remember, if it's a rectangle, they have to have right angle corners. They have to have these good square corners, they're called, because they go like that. That's a right angle corner, right? If it's a rectangle, it's got to be like that. You can't make it slanted. Let me do a big rectangle. How about a big one here? I'm going to go all the way across to here. Now, if I go all the way across to here, then on the bottom, I got to do the same thing. I can't stop here because then it's not going to be a rectangle. I have to go all the way across here, too. And now I'm going to go back to where I started, and that'll be 4 sides, 4 right corners. That's a big rectangle, isn't it? A big one. Did you do your rectangles? A couple rectangles? So I did triangles and I did rectangles. Even a special rectangle called a square. Now I'll show you something. Tell me if this is a rectangle. Look, well, I'll put it in here. Tell me. Oop. And I'm going to do this. Let's make it one bigger. Now, this has 4 sides, and the pairs are parallel. This is parallel to this, and this is parallel to this, and it's got 4 sides. Is that a rectangle? No, because it has to have these kind of corners, right corners. This is not a rectangle. Cross that one out. Rectangles have this kind of corner. It's called a right angle corner. Right corners. Or sometimes they're even called a square corner. You got to square it off. Anyway, that's no good. I crossed it out. I got a pen. I can't do it. Okay, so that's it. Guys, pretty easy page today. We were done in 10 minutes, so this was pretty easy. We'll see you tomorrow in class. Bye.